If a man loves you more than you love him, is it worth your time and your energy to give him a chance? Let me answer that question in this video. Hey guys, it's Renee here, the founder of TheFeminineWoman.com, where we teach you how to show up as a high-value, high-status woman whom easily inspires a deep sense of emotional commitment from men. As you probably know, I get a ton of questions every single day from my readers, and I thought I'd answer a very good question in this video. It goes like this.
Hi there, Renee. I've been following your blog, and it has changed my life significantly. Thank you so much. I recently met a guy who I believe truly loves me, but the problem is he has many bad habits that I also used to have, but I've worked hard on myself to quit those habits, whereas he hasn't. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure if I love this man, but I have realized that I have been too picky with men in the past. This guy calls me, checks up on me, and tells me he loves me often, perhaps too often even. My question is, should I give him a chance? Looking forward to hearing from you, Renee.
This is such an important topic, and your question is a good one. Let me start by decoding what you're actually saying here. Because as I see it, you are saying one of two things. One, you are considering giving this man a chance because of a lack of better options around. Because let's face it, if there was a 10 out of 10 man at your front door right now, and he was interested in you, you wouldn't even be considering this man whom you don't really even love. Two, you could be saying that this man actually has the potential to be a high value mate, yet you truly have an issue with being too judgmental of men. And you being judgmental puts your guard up, it closes you off and stops you from forming beautiful, spontaneous connections with men. Which one are you actually saying? They are two different situations. However, what's interesting is that you can utilize situation number one to potentially raise your value and hope that you will soon enough attract a man who is high value into your life. You might not really desire this man, but ask yourself the question, could you and do you want to consider spending some time with him, practicing your connection skills so that you become more skillful and confident at connecting and relating? All for the purpose of raising your value so that you can attract the man that you want. Now, some people would suggest that this behavior would be leading a man on. And I guess that could be true. However, if you wanted to try and genuinely connect with him, and after a short time cut it off, that is, if you truly feel that you both do not have a genuine, unique connection, then there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having given it a go, as long as your intention was to connect and to give. Why? Well, because if your intention is to connect, then you would naturally cut him off when you feel the time is right, and you won't go around hurting anybody. You would naturally feel the disconnects in the interactions as you feel who that person is. A genuine desire to connect will also help you to be more finely attuned to the situation, which a lot of people are just not very good at these days. But think about this. Could your initial judgments be a possible blockage to a true and deeper connection with someone? I would suggest that you don't want to give a man the chance for the sake of it. But what you said about being picky is smart and important. What if you remove the judgments of his behavior completely for a week and connect with him heart to heart and really have a true intent to connect and feel him and feel how you feel around him? If you, like many of us, are too quick to judge men who don't immediately give the impression of a high value man, then that judgmental habit can potentially destroy any real chance of creating a deeper connection that we all crave for. Keyword potentially, because sometimes you really don't want to give low value men any chances in your life at all. So we have to be smart here. See, sometimes a judgmental habit can be a blockage to having true, vulnerable, and spontaneous, heart-open connections with someone. And you could be potentially filtering out all the great men around you and end up alone because of it. On the other hand, you need to really reach inside and feel yourself. Is your body truly telling you no to this man? Do you intuitively feel and know that he is low value or not even the right guy for you, but you just think you should give him a chance for no good reason other than it fits your identity of giving things a go? Because that can be a real waste of time. The other thing you need to be aware of is just not to jump into giving him a chance, just to take value, simply because he's the only man who's currently offering you anything. In this case, the words "give him a chance" is really just code for, let's see if you can take some mediocre value because he's offering it, as there's no better option in men currently around. Remember to do it for the connection, not to take attention and value. Having said all this, I am not saying that you should disregard him altogether. You could give him a chance, but on one basis only. For the reason that you could practice having deeper and vulnerable connection with him until it no longer feels right to continue. Or until you feel the disconnect naturally. Or, if you're really game, until you can appreciate who he is deep down inside. Don't force a relationship just because he likes you and it appears as though he's being generous with his attention, because chances are he likely may not even truly love you. He could just be looking for sex or what value he could extract out of you. And I'm not trying to be negative here. This is just me giving you advice based on what you have said about his behavior in your question to me. You mentioned, "This guy calls me and checks up and tells me he loves me often, too often even." Red flag. Where is the red flag? It is in the way you said he might check up on you too often, coupled with the fact that you don't really love this man. The fact that you're saying that you don't really love this man. This all presents a possible problem. No attuned person would say they loved someone over and over without reciprocation. Here's what I mean. If you say he's doing it too often, then it could mean these things. 1, he is not attuned to you. In other words, he doesn't really care where you're at. He's not looking to see what you need or where you're at, but rather he's just looking for sex or something casual, or perhaps just companionship because he's lonely and he's willing to put in a bit of effort for that. 2, he may just want to take value because he senses that you like the attention, and you liking the attention means you could be a sexual opportunity. You see, when we are blinded by our own need for attention, we tend to easily become prey to men who are looking for sexual opportunities. No, I'm not pointing the finger at women here, because I do know that women generally enjoy attention from men, and there's nothing wrong with that. The only issue with that is when our need to take attention from the world is so great that we ignore our body's messages to us, our intuition, and we ignore the truth of what's happening right in front of our very eyes. Sometimes in life, wanting something externally can blind us to the truth. And we can all get stuck in this situation, so don't beat yourself up. Men who are high value, who are genuinely falling in love, or who are feeling a real connection with you, they won't check up on you too often in a way that makes you feel like it's too often or too much. Why? Well, because they don't need to, because they got shit to do and they can have women whenever they want. They don't need validation 24/7, and they don't need to push for something that's not reciprocated. Men who are attuned, who have high value, they'll easily sense the lack of enthusiasm on your part, and they'll either get frustrated or just move on. The answer here really is, If you feel like you can go ahead with him purely for the reason that you enjoy practicing to connect, then you could consider doing that. Connecting deeply is a skill. It's a muscle that if you don't use often, will atrophy and become disused and feeble. So, there really are good reasons to practice connecting deeply. But if you're only doing it for lack of better options in your life right now, then perhaps don't waste his time and yours. I don't say that because you'd be leading him on. I say it for your benefit. I say it because of the fact that you'd only be perpetuating your own habit of settling for whatever scraps you can get. That is a dangerous habit to get stuck in because it keeps you low value. Sometimes we all have to ask ourselves, do I have a hole from the past that needs to be filled with attention? Before I go, I want to ask you one more thing. At some point, many of us, you and I included, have to look deep within and ask ourselves this: is it him that I want attention from? Or am I just missing attention from when I was a little girl and desperately want to fill that void now? If you didn't receive enough attention as a little girl, or if you did receive plenty of attention, but for whatever reason, you didn't actually let yourself feel and receive that attention to the fullest, which by the way is true for most of us women, because we get kind of coy and pretend we don't need attention so that other women don't hate us, then you're in trouble. You need to revisit old memories and fill that hole that is labeled attention from people. Fill it up before you take the next turn in the dating market, just so that you feel that you've received attention in abundance in this lifetime. If you don't take the time to do this, to add value to yourself, you will be making decisions that eat away at your chances of genuinely falling in love, creating deep and emotional connections, and perhaps meeting the one. At the end of the day, this is what this stuff is really about: adding value to yourself. That's the very best thing you can do, so that you can walk tall, confident, proud, and actually live in a body that you are truly proud of. All right, that's enough for this video. I hope that it gave you some new insights. By the way, I would love to hear your experiences and your stories on this very topic. Sometimes the best teachers we have are the people around us and their stories. And perhaps your story could help thousands of women across the world. So let me know. I'd love to hear your experiences. Also, if you like this video and you would like to see me do more video content, leave a comment below and let me know. By the way, if you haven't downloaded my Goddess report yet, I'll include a link somewhere on this page or on this video so that you can access that. We've just put together a brand new version and I think you're going to love it. Anyway, that's all from me. I'll speak to you very soon.